Hey guys, we are live again, day 2. How you
Good
feeling,
morning.
Jasmine?
How y'all doing? I am absolutely thrilled to be sitting here. My
Yes.
nerves are all.
Yeah, no, don't even. I get that way too, so don't worry about that. It's just the energy. It is making you not be able to talk.
Yeah, I'm choked up. It's not even the word. Just overwhelmed, thrilled. I mean, anything you can throw out there that is a good feeling. Something that just burns that fire inside of you, where you know this is what you should be doing.
Yes.
So, hard to explain, just have to be experienced, just like the Thrive experience.
Yeah.
I had to throw that out there. But yeah, take it away.
Well, guys, we this morning, yesterday, after we talked about you can't plan, you can't do this or that, we made a plan. We wrote down segments, what we were going to talk about, all this stuff, and we planned it out. And we didn't even realize what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
We had no idea of what we were actually doing.
Right.
And then this morning, it's like, okay, it's time to make the next one. And we're like, okay, the topic is happiness. What are we going to talk about happiness? Like, there was no direction to it, so it just didn't feel real. Right, yeah. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like the truth was going to come from it today.
Right.
And so that's when we got the idea for this. I was like, I realized at that point, we were planning this, and we don't need to be planning it, so why not talk about your life, planning your life, and how it's better not to.
Right.
And that is how this episode came about, was because what we planned didn't work out.
Right. That's powerful. I can attest to that.
Yeah, and like I was just telling Jasmine, we're doing this where everything that we say is free flowing. In every episode, there will not be a plan, there will not be a direction. It'll just be whatever is sent through us to be spoken that day, because somebody that day needed to hear it. That's all that's coming from this. That is it.
Right. Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing, because when you can feel that inside and transcend that or exude that through your daily actions, the way you speak, the way you treat people, just your everyday interactions, that's a powerful thing when you can receive someone who is at the perfect time in the perfect measure, and like, wow, I needed to hear that, thank you. That is fulfillment in itself. And that's why I'm so just blessed and honored to be able to sit here and talk with you guys, be real, open up, showing ourselves true to you guys, because we've had that awakening and that awareness within ourselves first. So the rest is, it all depends on what you want out of the situation. So when you plan your life, and when you plan certain things that you feel that you should have at any given moment, you take away
your ability to see the path.
Right. Because it's already ordained, it's already laid out, it's already structured, the foundation is already there. You just have to trust that it's there. You just have to ensure that all of your moves that you're making, you're being led by your spirit and not by your flesh. So you're always aware of everything around you, so that it doesn't affect how you walk down that path.
My favorite thing that I ever heard, I recall it coming from Wayne Dyer, which I've told you this many times already. I tell everybody this because I just love it. It's like the easiest description of how to just be.
Right.
Let go and let God.
Yes.
And that is when Wayne Dyer was talking about someone else way back when who said this, talking about you're in your mother's womb for 9 months. You don't wish for your knees. You don't wish for your eyes. You don't pray for anything.
Right.
You don't question anything.
You're a spiritual being.
Yes, and you just live in a place of knowing.
Right.
That everything is just fine.
Right.
And you never have to want for anything. It's already there. It's already taken care of.
And it doesn't leave you.
So my thing to all of you out there is, if you were taken care of the first 9 months of your life, and let's take it back before then, and you were taken care of before you ever came into this physical form. Nothing you never needed of anything. It was already there. So why are we first, starting out like as parents, when we have our children, we're like, oh, it's such a beautiful creation. Thank you, God. I've got it from here.
Right.
And then we take God out of the equation in our child's life without even realizing it, trying to plan everything.
Right.
So if we were taken care of, our children are taken care of, why are we worrying? Why are we fearing? Why are we doubting? Why are we disbelieving?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because the thing that helped me really like horn in on that reality, on those facts that you just mentioned, was the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read it or listened to the audio, guys, I highly recommend you to listen, because it's one of those things like anytime you're in a competition and you have an opponent, you always want to study that opponent, know what you're dealing with, know what you're working with, how to maneuver around that so they do not defeat you. So it's no different when it comes to your spiritual walk.
Yes.
So
very much
you
so.
Being able to analyze what around you is for you versus what isn't, that is a powerful
yeah, it is. It's very powerful to know those things.
Yeah.
It guides every step that you take when you actually know what steps you're supposed to take and which ones you're not.
Right.
You know, there is no right or wrong. It's not that it's good or bad. That's what it is. It's not right or wrong.
Right.
Because nothing is wrong and nothing is right. It just is.
It is what it is.
But good and bad do exist. And you can tell what's right and wrong in the flesh sense by what feels good and what feels bad.
Right.
If it makes you feel bad, sad, upset, angry, anything of those feelings, those negative, those words, you don't even use those words anymore, because the words have emotion, they have feeling, they have energy. So you can't even use the words, because the words will put the thoughts in your head, and then you start to activate the power of the thought, which activates it into your reality. So you get to a point where you're just like, I can't even speak negative. Like I can't even put myself in that position, because I already know what can happen from it. You being prepared for the flesh spirit battleground is the best thing you can do for yourself. Because then you can live your life just like going with the flow of things. Just God's will comes natural to you,
and not even just speaking it, but being around people that exuded themselves.
Yes,
you can't expect a fulfilling, prosperous, happy, peaceful life if you're hanging around people that spew negativity or hate, whether it's not towards you specifically or towards themselves, but towards someone else, and you're a part of it. It's like the guilty by association.
Yeah, and people will be like, well, if you're so loving and kind and all this, why are you not helping everybody? And it's not even about that. Some people are meant for us, some people are meant for others. Not everyone's going to learn from the same teacher. That's why there are so many teachers out here. So if you have someone in your life that you just can't help, that's because you're not meant to be the one to help them. It's somebody else's job to do that. So,
yeah, and that as you were speaking that, it brought me to the story of Jesus Christ and what Christians believe as who Jesus is, what he was sent here to do, versus what we know him as, and that is no different than us. We have the same abilities, we have the same,
we are one,
but not everybody sees him the same way, whether it's because they were taught or because they don't feel it. But there's somebody in this world throughout their lifetime that they may not understand through this one vessel, but something else may give them that awakening. And that's how patience can really be determined at that point in my eyes, because you always want to extend that arm or that favor towards another human being to understand that they may not get it right away from you. And
that's
being compassionate that our journey took X, Y, and Z time as well. So never judge someone else's walk, because it wasn't designed to look the same. And the ways of the world
understood by somebody else either.
Exactly. And the ways of the world right now has so much control and wanting of conformity to the point to where everyone is losing self. So this mission, this the wake-up call. It's waking up your spirit and understanding that you can do whatever the heck you want to do. Whatever. I just posted this on Facebook today. You know, any thought that you can conjure up in your mind and you believe it wholeheartedly, you know, within your heart, you can make it happen. You can make it happen in the physical if you are aligning with that process, because it is a process. And at the end of the day, that is the only planning that you need.
Yeah, like planning, people tend to fear not planning.
Right.
They fear if they don't plan, then
everything's going to go haywire.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's quite the opposite in my life, and I know that it happens in more than just my life.
Right.
And that is, if you plan something, it never works out. And so when you're thinking about planning your life, it's good to have goals. Goals should be your plans. Mm-hmm. That is the only thing. And you can write out your goals, whatever you want to do.
Right.
But to me, those are just pit stops along the way. Each goal is a pit stop to where I'm truly trying to go to.
Right.
So that's why I don't plan.
Right.
And like if you're planning your day, I don't even do that, because I feel that if I do that, then I block something off that I was supposed to see or hear that day to give me the revelation I needed to have in that moment.
That's real. That's real. I was thinking about that the other day, how so many people cry out and say, oh, but I've been praying, I've been trying, I've been this, I've been that, but I haven't got a sign. It's because you're looking for a particular sign the way you see it through your flesh, not through your spirit. Yes. And if you understand the way you are supposed to receive it through your spirit, then you will be aware and conscious to the signs, signals, spirits, angels, whatever. There's plenty of people out there in this world that can attest to what I'm saying. So, that is who we were created to be before, like Brandy said, the 9 months we were in our mom's womb, before we were given a name, even knew what sex we were. There was no religion in us. It was all spirituality. It was all being godlike and being able to perceive life in a way that will not keep you bound to what we've become. Look at this world with all the labels, with all the judgments, with all the sections of different people saying, if you're not this way, I don't like you. If you look like this, I want to kill you, or I don't have respect for you, or just all the nonsense that is going on right now. It's crazy to me how majority of the people that is so consumed in the negativity are the same ones preaching about religion, are the same ones preaching about being God-fearing and living your life the way a book or a person or a family member, whatever, has instructed you to do, instead of living freely for who you were before you knew anything of what religion is or could be, or any type of titles, period.
Yeah, people didn't even... Title is stereotype.
Right.
That is all it is.
Right.
And stereotype is rampant in this world.
Right.
And it doesn't exist. The only reason it exists is because people give it power to exist.
Right, exactly.
They give it the energy that it needs. And see, something I read yesterday, very, very powerful. And it said this: Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian. Muhammad was not a Muslim. They were teachers who taught love. Love was their religion. And that is the most powerful thing I've ever heard in my life, because it is so true. I have always wondered, what is my religion? Like, even when I was younger, what is my religion? And then as I grew and started understanding the world and how it works and having my unveilings and awakenings, that's when I started realizing I'm not religious.
Right.
I'm spiritual.
Right.
And I live from a different realm as far as my perspective on this world.
Exactly.
And my perspective on my interactions with other energy.
Yeah, I feel that.
Because it has to come from a place of creation. Otherwise, it is imperative that I not do it and waste my time, because my purpose has its time limit, you know? And I'm not trying to waste my time doing things that aren't for my purpose.
Right.
That aren't going to progress me towards accomplishing what I'm supposed to accomplish.
Right.
And that is what that would do.
And that is actually aligns with the subject of where we began, and not planning your day. And just having the free spirit inside of you be led by the source. That's it.
Yeah. You get signs. Any question you have, you just ask. They will give you a sign to let you know.
Yeah, I've tested it on a few occasions, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like, you know. Dang.
They also
crazy.
give you gut feeling.
Yeah.
Gut feeling is your inner being. That's why it's always right. And and when you don't listen to it, you're like, oh, I should have followed my gut. Gut's
like
not
right
a
now,
gut. It's your source.
Yeah.
Your intuition. Those things. Follow all of those things. Your impulses. Like, if you get sudden impulses to go do something, go do it. That's your spirit calling you.
Right.
That is your life purpose calling you in that moment, and it is your job to answer the phone and have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Learn that knowledge.
Absolutely. And I mean, just test it out for yourself, you know, because it's not if it will or maybe it will. It's a guarantee, because once again, man does not control your destiny and what you are supposed to do in this world. So if you knock on that door and speak freely and speak life and ask when you need discernment and understanding over your life, the answers will come to you. And I'm a living testimony of that. I mean, before, I would not understand when a person would say, oh, I could sense your spirit, or you have a very giving and loving spirit, and I probably have talked to them 20 minutes, and of course I've been flattered. Oh wow, thank you, you know, I appreciate that. But to understand what they meant by them being able to feel that, I never understood how that felt up until the time that I started meditating and I started paying attention to the signs,
to the feelers.
The feelers. Yes, absolutely. Which was because it was a time where, I mean, my hands would literally just ring with energy sensations, like not like my hands were sleeping, but a certain something that I've never felt before. And it always happened when I talked to one specific person. It always happened when I was conversing with that person, and then the signs started to trickleate into other things in different areas of my life, depending on what my focus was. But the fact that I knew it was much more than myself, because I absolutely had no control over it, just like many instances that we've discussed about things that have transpired in our past, to kind of shake you up and let you know, like, hey,
yeah,
this is who you are. This is what needs to lead you. Because every time that I have taken it upon myself to be impatient, be worrisome, just do whatever I feel like I needed to do, being in control instead of letting go and letting God, it always turned into a disaster. Always. Always. I can, at this point in my life, look back and be real with myself and own all the shit that I've been through.
Yeah.
Because it was my own doing.
Yes.
And I understand that. So what I need you all to understand is do the reverse. Do the opposite. Speak life. Lead every footstep with goodness and just being humble and serving other people, because it will come back to you 10, 100, 1,000.
Yeah.
Even a millionfold.
Yeah. And I couldn't tell you one plan that I made that went the way I planned it. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
There's not one that I can think of.
Yeah.
And that's, you get to a point where you're so certain in the direction you're going and the path that's in front of you, that nothing else around you matters.
Yeah.
That you don't care if everybody else is planning. You're not planning. You don't care if everybody else is doing this. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
The crazier you look, the more in tune with source you are.
Right.
Because you're doing what everybody else isn't doing, so you look crazy to everybody else.
Right.
While we're sitting over here with this understanding greater than ourselves of our purpose and everybody in this world, and they look crazy to us.
Right, because they're conforming to one another instead of being uniquely who you are, which is your power.
Yes,
which is
that
your
is
gift.
the power. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone has a bright light that shines within them, but it has become dormant because man has made them believe that it's supposed to be. We are our own Peter Pans, every one of us.
Right.
Find your happy place and stay there and you will fly.
Yeah. That's real. That is so real because, man, looking at my precious Skylar, oh my gosh, she just lights my world up because she reminds me of me, and she gives me that determination and that, you know, I used to love dancing. I used to love singing. Like, the things that I see her interested in was hobbies and passions of mine, and that encouraged me to focus on those things, focus on getting back to the kid in me. And when I wasn't so uptight and, you know, just upset about whatever was going on through my day, and just living life freely, being free, being just who I was created to be. And that's what I'm getting back to.
Power
and
in that.
Since being on that journey, it's just been so many things that have transpired that have fulfilled me in ways that I can't even describe. Because it didn't pan out when
the path is powerful when it's will.
Yes.
It's very powerful when it's will. And it's very struggling when it's flesh led.
Oh my gosh. It is.
And it's so disheartening to see so many people lost and not even know why they're lost. Can't even sit still long enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't try to figure it out because they have been so manipulated in the mind.
Yes.
That they don't even know how to properly use their own mind anymore. Everything is do it for me.
Right.
And that is how we are all enslaved so well, because everybody is controlled through the fact that this is the easy button. You guys are humans. Human natures take the easy way out. Run. So here's your easy button.
Right.
You press this. I control you. You don't know. Everybody's happy.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. We want to awaken everybody. This is not you were brought here abundantly from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Your abundance came with you. And it was dispersed all over the world for you to find, like a scavenger hunt as you grow on your journey.
I like that.
and every time you hit one of those pieces, it brings more light within you. And then by the time you're done, you are greatness.
Yeah.
You are
lit up like a football
light.
field.
Yes, you are light radiating from within out into the world, and you are a beacon of hope and love and kindness to the world. And people, like, you're like a bug zapper to lost people at that moment.
Yeah.
Because you're that beacon of hope they've all been looking for, so they cling to that.
Right.
So be prepared for that if you're on this mission.
Absolutely.
Because that is what it's about. This is not to, we don't want you to change yourself and start thinking about others for it to benefit you.
Right.
This has to be a selfless act of love.
Right. Absolutely.
Towards everyone.
Absolutely.
Regardless of and some can get mad at me if they want to, but I don't care if it is a murderer, a pedophile, a thief, anything like that. It does not matter. It's all the same thing. It was mistakes made on the journey. Yes, they were worse than others.
Right.
But why is it worse than others? Because we're led to believe that one thing is worse than another.
Right.
Nothing is worse than anything else. Nothing is better than anything else. It is either good or bad.
Right.
So we have good mistakes, bad mistakes. But my point was,
don't condemn yourself.
Don't condemn others either.
Yeah.
Love them regardless, because anybody at any time that's made any mistakes can have their awakening.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because we know, I mean, all of you listening can attest to the fact that there are some secrets and some things that you wouldn't want
closet.
Right, you would not want the world to know. And you know, a part of this journey is us being true with you guys, so that you can learn to be true within yourself. Like a mirror, reflecting upon one another, to show kind, to show compassion, to show understanding, to show forgiveness, and nurturing. And being able to nurture our minds to continue to live abundantly and freely and in happiness and love and everything that is of good. Because everything that is the opposite, it feels bad, period. Whether it's It doesn't matter.
That's how you should go about your planning too, or
Right.
not planning.
Right.
That's why it's better not to plan, because if you plan and you're planning things that are not in your path, you're gonna find moments of unhappiness, depression, sadness, anger.
Right.
That's what you're planning.
Right.
It's, you're not getting what the full experience when you do
Right.
that. You're
Find
blocking
peace
off the
first.
good. Yeah, you're blocking off the good by trying to be in control.
Right.
You eventually have to sit back and be driven instead of trying to drive yourself.
Right. Let go of the ego.
Yeah. The need to be in control.
Right.
Plans, yeah, they may get you to one of your goals quicker or a couple of your goals quicker, but they're not going to give you the full nourishment of your soul.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right.
I don't care
Your happy
how,
place.
Yeah, I don't care how fast I get where I'm going. I care about the quality of the experience of getting there.
And quality means everything and every essence of
Yes.
of humanity and thinking in our flesh. So apply that to your spirit as well.
Yeah.
It will definitely change the name of the game. I'm just excited about all the things that are to come. We're going to have a few segments every day or so where we have you guys call in, ask us some questions, get feedback. If you're going through anything that you would like our advice on, or you need positive vibes sent your way, definitely don't hesitate. Once we are up and running, we will have our email and fan page, Instagram, all of those things set up for you guys to stay tuned in with us on different social media sites and things of that nature. So anything else you have for them, Brandy?
No, other than don't plan your day. Quit planning. Just stop it. For once in your life, I want you guys to let go and let God on every plane, every hemisphere, every aspect or perspective of your life. Let go and let God do his work, because that's all he's waiting on.
Right.
You're stopping your own blessings, your own purpose being fulfilled, because you're standing in your way, which means you're standing in his way.
Amen.
And that is it, guys. I love you all. Mwah, mwah.
Y'all take care. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.